The Vale. Lady Rhea Royce rides across the rough, open land near Runestone. She knows this area well and is comfortable being alone. As she moves toward a narrow path, she sees Prince Daemon Targaryen standing there, silent and still. Their marriage has been empty for years, and she has no love for him. Instead of showing fear, Rhea mocks him the moment she sees him. She asks if he has come to finally consummate their marriage, or if King Viserys has become tired of him and sent him away again. Rhea continues talking, each sentence cutting deeper. She brings up Rhaenyra being named heir. She mocks Daemon for being replaced by a young girl. She even suggests he might want to kill Rhaenyra to gain power again. But while she speaks, Daemon says nothing at all. He simply watches her, and his silence slowly changes the mood. Rhea suddenly understands his real reason for coming. She sees the truth in his eyes. He is here to kill her. Rhea tries to reach for her bow, but the sudden move and noise makes the animal rear. The horse throws Rhea to the ground and collapses on top of her, crushing her legs and leaving her unable to stand. Daemon walks toward her and looks down. For a moment, it seems like he will leave her there to die from her injuries. He turns and walks away. Still alive, Rhea continues to mock him, shouting after him that he could not even finish the job. Daemon stops. He turns back, picks up a large stone, and approaches her again. The scene does not show the final blow, but it is clear from his actions that he kills her. With Rhea dead, Daemon becomes a widower, free to marry again. Driftmark. King Viserys travels by sea to Driftmark, the home of House Velaryon. The journey is uncomfortable for him. He is clearly weaker than before, coughing and struggling with the cold sea air, but he remains steady and composed. Lord Lionel Strong, the new hand of the king, accompanies him. Viserys has come with a clear purpose: to arrange a marriage between Princess Rhaenyra and Laenor Velaryon. When they arrive, there is no welcome waiting for them. No guards, no banners, no greeting from Lord Corlys. They only see Laenor sparring with Sir Joffrey Lonmouth in the courtyard. The near-empty courtyard sends a clear message. Corlys Velaryon is still insulted that Viserys once rejected a marriage alliance with Laena Velaryon. Viserys notices the slight, but chooses to ignore it. He knows he needs the Velaryons more than they need him. Laena Velaryon greets Viserys politely and explains that Corlys is resting. Lord Lionel is clearly irritated, but Viserys accepts the delay calmly, understanding that Corlys is asserting his pride and position. Betrothal alliance. Inside the Hall of Nine, which is filled with treasures from Corlys's many voyages, Viserys finally meets with Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. Corlys is polite, but everyone can feel the icy reception. He is enjoying the moment the king has come to him, not the other way around. Viserys begins by proposing the marriage between Rhaenyra and Laenor. Corlys listens carefully. He agrees that such an alliance is powerful for both families, but he wants the terms to be fair. He requests that the children of Rhaenyra and Laenor carry the Velaryon name, following Westerosi tradition, where children take their father's surname. Viserys cannot accept this. A future ruler of the Seven Kingdoms must carry the Targaryen name. Ending the Targaryen line by name is unthinkable. After a moment of silence, Viserys suggests a compromise. Their children may be named Velaryon, but when one of them takes the Iron Throne, the royal family name will return to Targaryen. Corlys considers this carefully and calls it equitable. Rhaenys, watching Viserys closely, notices how sick he truly is. His missing fingers, weak posture, and heavy breathing reveal far more than he admits. The marriage terms are agreed. The future of both houses is set in motion. Informal pact. After the political agreement is settled, Rhaenyra and Laenor are encouraged to spend time together. They walk along the shoreline, speaking honestly. Both understand that this marriage is not built on love. Laenor cares deeply for Sir Joffrey Lonmouth, and Rhaenyra understands the expectations placed upon both of them. Rhaenyra speaks openly. She tells Laenor she knows who he is and has no desire to force him into a false life. She suggests that they marry for duty and alliance, and that in private they dine as they see fit. There is no detailed plan spoken aloud about heirs, only an understanding that duty must be performed when required. Laenor accepts her offer with relief. Their agreement is pragmatic, respectful, and built on mutual understanding rather than romance. Belated justice. Back at the castle, Corlys and Rhaenys speak in the Hall of Nine, discussing the engagement. Corlys wonders if he went too far by making Viserys travel through a storm, but Rhaenys reminds him that the king made his own choice. She points out that it is strange to see a king traveling to plead for support from a vassal. She also worries deeply about Laenor's future safety. Rhaenys believes the lords of Westeros will not easily accept Rhaenyra as queen. If the realm rejects Rhaenyra, Laenor will also face the consequences. Corlys tries to brush aside her concerns. He believes the marriage could correct the injustice done to Rhaenys when the Great Council denied her claim. To him, this union is a righteous path for their family to ascend. Rhaenys does not share his confidence. She knows the dangers and understands the realm better than he does. Still, she relents, knowing the choice has already been made. An old player departs. Back in King's Landing, Sir Otto Hightower prepares to leave the Red Keep after he got fired as Hand of the King. Alicent runs after him from the courtyard, heartbroken. She believed Rhaenyra when she swore she was innocent, and she blames herself for not defending Otto more strongly. Otto warns her one last time. He tells her she is being naive. When Viserys dies, and Otto believes this will be sooner rather than later, Rhaenyra will have no choice but to eliminate Alicent's children. Not out of cruelty, but out of political survival. Rhaenyra would have to consolidate her claim. She would have no other choice. Otto says that Alicent must choose, either protect her children or trust someone who cannot afford to be merciful. His words stay with her long after he leaves. A new player emerges. Alicent goes to the Godswood to think, troubled by everything she has heard. There she meets Larys Strong, who speaks carefully and chooses his words with precision. He mentions the Grand Maester preparing tea for the princess, never stating its purpose outright. Alicent listens closely and reaches the truth on her own. Rhaenyra had not been honest with her. Later, Alicent summons Sir Criston Cole. She speaks in careful hints, referring only to rumors of the princess's behavior, without naming Daemon. Criston misunderstands her meaning and confesses immediately that he slept with Rhaenyra. The truth hits Alicent hard. Rhaenyra had sworn on her mother's memory, and now that oath feels broken. Criston expects punishment and begs for a quick death, but Alicent dismisses him. Her silence marks a turning point. Trust has been replaced by doubt. The rehearsal dinner. The wedding celebrations begin in King's Landing. The Velaryon fleet arrives in full display, and Laenor and Rhaenys arrive on Dragonback. The Great Hall is filled with banners, music, and noble guests. Viserys sits beside Rhaenyra, visibly strained but still holding himself together. Queen Alicent enters the hall wearing a green gown. The color is deliberate. Green is the color House Hightower uses when calling their banners to war. Her slow walk and calm expression send a clear message. Rhaenyra understands it immediately. Alicent just declared war on her. As the dancing begins, Sir Joffrey Lonmouth approaches Criston Cole. Speaking softly, Joffrey suggests that they understand one another and should protect each other's secrets. Criston hears this not as kindness, but as a threat. His shame and anger boil over. Violence erupts without warning. Criston attacks Joffrey, beating him savagely as guests scream and flee. Laenor rushes to Joffrey's side, crying out in horror as Joffrey lay dead on the floor. The celebrations are ended at once. Later, in the Godswood, Criston prepares to take his own life, but Alicent stops him. From that moment on, Criston belongs to her cause. The marriage is rushed through quickly, with no grand ceremony. Rhaenyra and Laenor speak their vows in shock and grief. Afterward, Viserys collapses from exhaustion and strain. As the hall empties, blood remains on the floor, and rats gather in the shadows, a quiet sign of the rot spreading through the monarchy. And that's the end of the episode. Analysis. Daemon did not appear much in this episode, but when he did, things got interesting. Daemon shows up in the Vale, and we finally meets his estranged wife, who is surprisingly much prettier than he described her. He doesn't say a word, and she insults him over and over again. She panics because she deduces Daemon's true intent. She goes for her bow, but the noise startles her steed. She ends up on the ground and her horse on top of her, so she breathes her last. In the books, this event is left ambiguous. It's mentioned, Daemon's suspected of the crime, but no one knows for sure. Even in the show, Daemon is there, but they leave it to the viewers to decide. Did Daemon do this on purpose? I don't think so, but who knows? Daemon then shows up at the end, at the rehearsal dinner unannounced. The king is annoyed but makes a servant pull up a chair for his brother, and Daemon just sits. He tries to claim his late wife's land, Runestone, but he is denied by her kin. Daemon says he'll press his claim with the High Lord of the Vale, but then he dances and flirts with the groom's sister. He tries to dissuade Rhaenyra from her marriage, but gets interrupted by the brawl. The new player that emerges in this episode is Larys Strong. First introduced in episode 3 when he joins the circle of gossiping noble women. He is a schemer that listens intently. Once Otto, an astute tactician and schemer, left the court, another showed up to fill the void. It's like a job position that cannot remain vacant. Another schemer has to take his place. Larys Strong is a wily individual. He feeds Alicent enough information so that she comes up with the conclusion. She feels smart and continues to dig until she finds what Larys wants her to find. Larys Strong uses his clubfoot to appear weak and harmless, but he is extremely lethal. Criston Cole is the most tragic character this episode. First, he proposes to Rhaenyra that they elope to Essos. She refuses because she feels like she negotiated a great marriage of convenience with Laenor. Her deal, in which, in private, they dine as they see fit, seems like a great compromise, and she thinks Criston would be okay with it. Criston, unfortunately, is not okay with the arrangement. He gave up everything for her, and she did not. He feels used by Rhaenyra, and when she rejects his idea to run away, he is crushed. When Alicent is looking for confirmation that Rhaenyra and Daemon did the deed, he folds like a lawn chair and confesses everything. Criston just asks for a quick death as punishment. But no punishment ever comes. He is just dismissed from the Queen's presence. At the rehearsal dinner, when Joffrey approaches him, talking about secrets and arrangements, Criston loses it. He starts a melee that ends with Joffrey being sent to the great beyond. Criston Cole, distraught with guilt of all his misdeeds, goes to the weirwood tree to end it all. Alicent stops him and gains him as her confederate. Criston Cole becomes Rhaenyra's bitter enemy and Alicent's valuable ally. All in all, this was a great episode. That's all for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.